Most managers believe they are the star player of their team, but in reality, managers don't win games. Teams do. So in today's video, we'll look at how managers should approach working with a team, how they should form strategy and help guide the team to win the games. We'll go through ready-made prompts that are already set up in a prompt library. You'll get access to this by liking and commenting prompt into the comment section. And we also check it out in ChatGPT, how it would look in real life with using meeting notes from last week and other resources, and how an actual, let's say, week start meeting would look like from this point of view. Okay, so the way I built out these strategies and these prompts and this system that I use in my work is that for the past 10 years, I managed different projects in different industries such as IT, healthcare, and finance. And I also worked with team members from all over the world from 17 different countries. And one thing that I learned is that managers never win games. Teams do. And the way forward isn't more control or micromanagement. It's using tools like AI to help leaders have more visibility, to have better coaching prompts, so they're able to support their team better. So that's what we will break down right now. Okay, so as I mentioned, the problem that I saw for the past 10 years is that a lot of managers think they are in the center of the team. So they are the star player, and every team member has to be somehow connected to that manager and make sure that the manager has all the control. They know what everyone does. They ask a lot of questions during the week, so they don't leave enough room for team members to have enough responsibility for their own role, right? So this is what we are trying to change, or this is what we are trying to improve with AI. Okay, so let's use a sport analogy. So I've been an athlete for 15 years. And one thing that I learned is there is a lot of similarity between sports and business. So let's use a sport example for this one. So what happens is that a lot of managers are trying to get on the field and make sure that they are here, that they are there, and they are involved in the team's matters. But instead, what they should do is actually working for the team members, right? So every team member knows their own job. They know what they have to do. They're not necessarily able to tell what other team members has to do, but they know their own job, right? So the manager has to do the same thing as a coach does for a sports team. They have to help the team members to know where they have to move. So what the actual strategy is for the entire team to work as a well-oiled machine, so they know where they have to move and how they should bring the best results, right? So this would be the job of a manager, and this is why it is very similar to a coach in sports, right? So what we are trying to do is, with the help of AI, increase the visibility, increase the speed that the manager can bring these strategies forward, and they can implement better reports, better strategy sessions, better motivational sessions, better one-on-ones, and many different other tools or many different other ways so they can support their teams. So what we are trying to make sure of is that our players, the team members on the field, they are in their best shape, they are in their best mood, and they know how they can support the other members, how they can support the system so we can score a goal and we can win the game. Let's take a better example for a good manager, right? So what the manager has to do every week, every month, every quarter, and every year, they have to set the direction we are going to, right? And when we know the direction that we are going, then we have to implement the strategy to get there. And on the way there, we have to mitigate the risks to make sure that we get there, right? So let's connect that with sports that we were talking about. Okay, so what would the direction where we are going? The direction is that we have to win the league and then maybe win the cup, whatever it is. And what would be the strategy? We would have different strategies for different games, right? Because of different opponents. They play different games. We have to implement different strategies. So we would have different kind of strategies in our book, and then we would know when to bring something forward, right? And then why do we have to do risk management in sports? Because then maybe one strategy goes out the window, or maybe one of our players get hurt. And then we have to do risk management. We have to figure out how to move capacity, and we have to figure out how to adjust the strategy. Okay, so this is the job of a manager, okay? Not actually being in here within the team members and actually doing the job. right? So that's the job of the team, okay? So we have to set the direction, the strategy, and we also have to manage risks, okay? So then the team members know how to contact and talk to each other. They know when to ask questions from the manager. But your job is to do this every week and every month and maybe every day in some cases, right? So an example would be in business for setting a direction, strategy, and risk management is to have a week strategy setting meeting. That would be Monday morning. Sit down with the team and have a session where you talk about what you have to do during the week, what happened last week, what is the strategy for the week, what is the risk management strategy? Do we have anyone out of office? Do we have capacity problems? Do we have any deadline that is too close or anything like that? They have to know these informations. They don't have to get those informations. They don't have to be worried about those informations. They just have to do their jobs so you can mitigate that risk. Okay, so let's check out an example as a prompt for this week starting meeting, right? So let's check this out. This is the prompt library I was talking about. This is the ultimate AI prompt library. As I said in the intro, if you like and comment prompt, I will share this exact prompt with you, okay? So how this prompt is built up. So this is the manager's weekly tone setting prompt, right? So what is the context? Many managers start the week reacting to report and tasks list, right? This prompt helps set the tone instead. Focus on direction, priorities, and clarity. The goal is to give the team a strong sense of what matters most this week while respecting flexibility and avoiding micromanagement, right? So this is our prompt. We have the setting part. You are my preparation assistant for setting the weekly tone for my team. I am the manager and my role is to give direction without micromanaging. I want to set the focus, goals, and energy for the week in a way that motivates and aligns everyone, right? So what will be our input? So we're going to take the meeting notes from last week. Okay, so I made up some meeting notes from last week. We're going to use this as input. And then we're going to take the report from last week, right? So I made a report that is about last week, let's say. And then we're also going to take the absence info holidays for this week, right? So you can get this from the calendar. You can get this, whatever is the way you do it in your company or in your workplace. But this is a document that I made up that is listing out of office events, which is either entire day or entire week, right? Okay, so we'll take these inputs and based on the input, create a weekly kickoff sheet with the following sections. And then you will see team focus, key priorities, individual directions, watch outs, motivational note, and then we'll just set the tone for the prompt to make sure that we have the output we want. Okay, so let's actually check it out how this prompt works. We're going to copy the prompt from the prompt library and we're going to paste it in to ChatGPT. And we're going to take the document that we just talked about, the meeting notes, the week closing report, and the out of office overview. And we're going to wait for documents to upload and then we're going to run the prompt. And in just 1 second, we have the weekly kickoff meeting. What is our team focus? This week is about closing gaps and balancing load. We keep momentum on sprint deliveries, tighten QA and ensure financial discipline while protecting the team from burnout. Obviously, we had a bunch of made up documents. Once you have it in your company and once you use it with your prompts, it's going to be way more precise on focusing on your goals, your priorities, your directions, and your risk management. Okay. Key priorities, individual directions, watch out. What is a motivational note? We've proven we can increase velocity without losing quality. Now let's sharpen focus and protect our energy. Clear communication and smart prioritization will carry us through this sprint. Let's execute with discipline and leave room to breathe. Okay? So this is something that you can use to close the meeting with, right? And let everyone go to start their week strong. So if you're leading a team, try to ask yourself, are you playing the game or are you coaching from the sideline?